You're watching the Seafood News Weekly video. This video is sponsored by Berry's Seafood Market Update webinar. Join us Tuesday, March 29th at 2 p.m. for an in-depth look at the major influencers of the seafood market, such as the ban on Russian crab imports, the impact of the Lenten season, and more. Click below to register for free. I'm Seafood News Managing Editor Amanda Buckle.
And I'm Berry's Seafood Market Reporter Lauren Castiglione. In our top story, the seafood industry is mourning Alaska Congressman Don Young, who died Friday, March 18th at the age of 88. National Fisheries Institute President John Connolly issued a statement on Young's passing, noting that he was a champion of Alaska fisheries and a co-author, supporter, and defender of the Magnuson-Stevens Act. Connolly said that his commitment to fisheries management was acclaimed far from just the bountiful waters of the state represented. Craig Morris, the CEO of the Association of Genuine Alaska Pollock Producers, also spoke out following Young's passing, noting that he was a tireless advocate for the wild Alaska pollock fishery and for all Alaska seafood and the dedicated men and women who harvest one of Alaska's most bountiful, valuable resources.
Meanwhile, Japan's Prime Minister announced the withdrawal of the Most Favored Nation trade incentive for Russia, which continues to invade Ukraine. The Most Favored Nation treatment is one of the basic principles of the World Trade Organization, with the rule that the most favorable treatment is applied to all member countries. If Russia is excluded from tariff incentives, import duties on live and frozen crab from Russia will go up from 4% to 6%, salmon and trout from 3.5% to 5%, and cold water shrimp from 1% to 4%. The largest supplier of live sea urchins is Russia, but live sea urchins remain tax-free even if preferential treatment is excluded.
And in other news, multiple factors are contributing to the upwards pressure within the fresh tilapia market, resulting in record high or 52-week high premiums across all sizes. In addition to massive freight increases both domestically and globally, continued logistical issues, and supply constraints, fresh tilapia is also seeing upwards pressure due to rising feed costs on corn, wheat, and soy. Ukraine accounts for roughly 12% of global wheat exports and is estimated to supply 16% of global corn exports this year. While domestic farmers will work to increase production to offset the global impact of reduced exports from Ukraine, traders worldwide are weighing the consequences of disrupted global trade and the possibility of growing supply shortages due to restricted export capacities from Russia and Ukraine.
And finally, China's General Administration of Customs is taking emergency precautionary measures after sampling of seafood imports resulted in a positive test for the new coronavirus nucleic acid. On March 17th, the government agency shared that they would be suspending 10 shrimp exporters from Ecuador after samples of product packaging tested positive for coronavirus. On March 22nd, an additional 3 companies from Ecuador were suspended when more packaging from batches of frozen Vietnamese shrimp tested positive. Some companies from India that export shrimp are also facing suspension following positive testing.
Subscribe to our channel below, and don't forget to head over to seafoodnews.com or visit the Seafood tab in Comtel for a comprehensive look at the latest market and industry news.
And you can also listen to a new episode of the Seafood News podcast released on Spotify, SoundCloud, and iTunes every week. Thanks for watching, and you
be
well.